Hey, are you a realtor maybe feeling overwhelmed or maybe unsure of the activity you need to do to produce a certain amount of money to reach whatever freedom that is, whatever goals you have set for yourself? Well, I've got some numbers here to break down step by step on what activity daily it takes to reach your goal. Now, you can plug and play different numbers. I'll write them down in the script below. I'll help you understand this better because there'll be a lot of stuff coming up here quick, but I'm going to take a couple minutes. Stick around at the end, and it's going to make a lot more sense to you, okay? So, typically in our world of sales, and half to a third of what we present. So 3 listing presentations, 1.5 contracts are signed. We'll go with that number, okay? How many conversations does it take to set an appointment? That's another one. So I guess to start with, where do our conversations come from? Open houses could be one way. We're sitting in open houses, great way to have people come to you. You don't really have to prospect. You just set up a sign, put it on the internet, and they come to you. Talk to people. You can get a few conversations there. Maybe you can have 3 to 5 conversations in an open house. That's all right. You can still door knock some doors. Maybe you get about the same thing after a few hours of work. That works. Hey, it's still ways to have conversations. Maybe you're in a lineup and you talk to someone. That's a conversation. You sit in a coffee shop and the same time every morning you have a conversation or two. That's great. They're all adding up, right? They're great. I find using technology to our advantage these days, to where people are looking to find realtors, looking to find homes for sale. When they want to buy and sell, they go online. It's not a lot. Some realtors have good databases. They are built off of online people. We find them online. I have 80,000, so guess what? We can make a lot of calls easy. But those conversations happen by reaching out. You can sit down and make a whole bunch of calls really quick, right? You get 50 calls in an hour pretty easy. You talk to a bunch of people. But idea being, you can have 10 conversations, right, to set one appointment. That's a pretty universal number to use. 10 conversations to one appointment, okay? So then you think, well, how many conversations do I have to make a deal? Well, 50 conversations will set 5 appointments. That's going to get you a deal. We take those numbers, okay? So now I'm going to use numbers as if you're on a team, and I'm going to assume a 50% split, which is fairly common. Now, your numbers could change. Your average commission could change. I'm using a $7,000 average commission. It could be different. If you're a solo realtor, double it. Whatever it is for you, plug that number in, okay? I'm setting a goal, to make it simple, of $100,000. Someone wants to come into the industry, maybe it's the first few years, and go, I want to make $100,000. That's a pretty good wage. That's a living wage. You can get by, you can have some spending money, go on a trip, whatever, that kind of thing, right? So, at making $7,000 a deal, if that's what it is, and you want to make 100K, that's 14 deals a year, okay? So 14 deals a year approximately is going to bring in about that 100K. So we know from our numbers of 50 to 5 to 1 deal, we have 14 deals times 50 conversations. You need 700 conversations in a year to achieve that. So let's assume you work 5 days a week, okay, right? We'll just say 4 weeks in a month. So we take those 20 days of calling a month, 12 months in a year, and we come up with 240 from that. So we take our 700 conversations we need, divided by our days of working, 240. That equals 3 conversations a day. If you have only 3 conversations a day, 5 days a week, that pulls you 100K on a team in a 50% split in our market, right? It has different markets. It's going to be different numbers, of course. That all changes. When you break it down to bite-sized pieces, it seems much more manageable. When you see a number of 700 conversations, holy crap, I'm never going to have that. When you break that down to 3 conversations a day, much more manageable. So that's a much easier pathway to make yourself, whatever that goal is, whatever gets to that freedom. You want to make 100K so you can spend more time with your family. You can buy XYZ, you can buy a house, whatever it is. There's your pathway. Plunk and play those numbers, and that's what you need to do. Form the discipline to get the habits set to get those things done. Make it a priority, right? Time blocking. I preach that about that a lot. But I want to talk about that today. Just some numbers to break down what you need to do to expect to make what. There you go. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. Happy to ask. I'm going to write this out in form B, so it kind of makes a little more sense too for you. Have a good one, guys. Take care.